Question number 96. The members of Phaeophyce are characterized by all except. First option, presence of chlorophyll A, C and fucoxanthin pigments. Second, production of pear-shaped and biflagellated asexual spores. Third, production of pyriform gametes that bear laterally attached flagella. Fourth, their occurrence mostly in freshwater habitats. You have to find out the statement which is not correct for the Phaeophyce or the brown algae. So see the first statement here, presence of chlorophyll A, C and fucoxanthin pigments. It is true for brown algae. Brown algae appear brown or olive green to brown in color due to the presence of pigment called fucoxanthin. So they have chlorophyll A, C and fucoxanthin pigments. Second, production of pear-shaped and biflagellated asexual spores. Yes, Phaeophyce or the brown algae, they reproduce asexually with the help of asexual spores, and these asexual spores are zoospores. They are motile spores. They have flagella for motility, so they are biflagellated and they are pear-shaped. So this statement is also correct. Third, production of pyriform gametes that bear laterally attached flagella. Yes, the gametes are pyriform shaped and they also bear flagella which are laterally attached. So this is also true. Fourth one is their occurrence mostly in freshwater habitats. This statement is incorrect. Why? Because the Phaeophyce, the members of the Phaeophyce, they are found primarily in marine habitats, not in the freshwater habitats. So this statement is incorrect. So the correct option for the given question is option number 4. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 97. Question number 97. Select the mismatched pair among the following. First option, Markentia, Gemma cups. Second, Rixia, monoecious thallus. Third, Funaria, unicellular rhizoids. Fourth, Sphagnum, high water retention capacity. You have to choose the mismatched pair or the pair which is not correctly matched. First is Markentia, Gemma cups. Markentia is a liverwort. It's a bryophyte, it's a liverwort. So the liverwort reproduce asexually with the help of gemma. These are multicellular asexual buds and these gemma are present in a structure called gemma cup. So the gemma cups contain gemma and gemma are responsible for the asexual reproduction in liverworts, that is Markentia. So this is correctly matched option. Second, Rixia, again it's a liverwort and it has monoecious thallus. Yes, it is also true because monoecious thallus means a thallus in which both the sex organs, that is the male and the female sex organs, are present on the same thallus in case of Rixia. Third one, Funaria. Funaria and Sphagnum both are bryophytes and they are mosses. So third is Funaria, unicellular rhizoids. No. Funaria, it's a moss and it has multicellular rhizoids, not the unicellular. In case of liverworts, the unicellular rhizoids are found. Fourth is Sphagnum, high water retention capacity. It is also correct. Sphagnum, again it's a moss and it has high water retention capacity. It can absorb a lot of water. That's why the gardeners use sphagnum to keep these seedlings and the cut plants moist during transportation and propagation. So this is correct one. So the correct option for the given question is option number 3. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 98. Read the following statements and select the incorrect ones. Statement A. Mosses have an elaborate mechanism of spore dispersal. B. In liverworts, the haploid free-living sporophyte is formed by spore germination. C. Vegetative reproduction in Polytrichum occurs by budding in the secondary protonema. And D. Markentia is a heterosporous bryophyte. And E. Growth of bog moss ultimately fills ponds and lakes with soil. First option A, B and C. Second D and E only. Third, B and D only. Fourth, all except A. In this particular question, you have to find the incorrect statements. Here, these statements more or less are related to the bryophytes. In bryophytes, you must have studied about the liverworts and the mosses. Mosses are more advanced than the liverworts. So liverworts include Markensia, Rixia, and many more. And mosses, Funaria, Sphagnum, Polytrichum, and many more. In case of bryophytes, the main body is gametophyte, and the dependent body is sporophyte. The sporophyte is completely dependent on gametophyte in case of liverworts, but in case of mosses it is incompletely dependent. As mosses are more advanced than the liverworts, mosses have elaborate mechanisms of spore dispersal, but liverworts, they have elaters which help in spore dispersal. So see the statements now. A. Mosses have an elaborate mechanism of spore dispersal. Yes, as mosses are more advanced than the liverworts, they have elaborate mechanism of spore dispersal. B. In liverworts, the haploid free-living sporophyte? No, as I've just discussed, the sporophyte is completely dependent on gametophyte in case of liverworts. This statement is incorrect. C. Vegetative reproduction in Polytrichum. So Polytrichum, it's a moss. In this moss, the vegetative reproduction occurs by budding in the secondary protonema. Yes, it is also correct. In case of mosses, when the spores are released from the sporophyte, they germinate and form the structure called protonema. So, the budding in this secondary protonema helps in vegetative reproduction in Polytrichum. D. Markensia is a heterosporous bryophyte? No. All the bryophytes are homosporous, be they liverworts or mosses. So they cannot be heterosporous. So this statement is wrong. E. Growth of bog moss, which is sphagnum, ultimately fills ponds and lakes with soil. The common name of sphagnum can be bog moss. It grows rapidly and fills the ponds and lakes with the soil, hence called the bog moss. So this statement is also correct. So the incorrect ones are B and the D. By analyzing the options, you can say the correct option for the given question is option number 3. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 99. Examine the figures A, B, C and D and select the option in which their names are correctly mentioned. Here it is A, B, C and D. First option, Dictyota porphyra salvinia selaginella. Second, Porphyra dictyota selaginella salvinia. Third, Porphyra laminaria lycopodium equisitum. Fourth, Dictyota porphyra selaginella and salvinia. So here these are the figures A, B, C and D. You have to identify these figures and then choose the correct option. Let's start with the figure which we can easily identify. You must have seen this figure in your NCERT too. This figure has particular structure called the rhizophore. So this is something which is rhizophore, and rhizophore is a feature of Selaginella. So you can identify C as it is Selaginella. So C is Selaginella, hence option number 1 and 3 are ruled out. Now we are left with the option 2nd and the 4th. You may be knowing about the figure D also. figure D is easy to identify as it's an aquatic fern, and that aquatic fern is Salvinia. It's a pteridophyte. So both Selaginella and Salvinia are pteridophytes. Both are heterosporous pteridophytes. So D is Salvinia. Again, it is present in option number 2 and option number 4. So we cannot rule out either option 2 or 4. Now, if you remember this figure, the figure B, is one of the red algae, and that is Porphyra. So this is Porphyra. So option number 2 is now ruled out, as this is Porphyra, which is given in the 4th option. And the left one figure is of Dictyota, no doubt in that. Dictyota, it's a brown alga. So A is Dictyota. So the correct option for the given question is option number 4. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 100. The dominant phase or main plant body is not sporophytic in first option, angiosperms, second, pteridophytes, third, bryophytes, fourth, gymnosperms. So in this question, you have to know about the main plant body of the different plant groups. In case of bryophytes, the main plant body is gametophytic. Except bryophytes, in pteridophytes, in gymnosperms and in angiosperms, all have sporophytic main plant body. So bryophytes have the gametophytic as the main plant body or the dominant body, but in case of pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms, the main plant body is the sporophytic. So the question is, in which of the following groups the main plant bodies are not sporophytic? So in pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms, it is sporophytic. So the correct option for the given question is option number 3. Let's see the next question.